Good morning. It's the 3rd of July 2019. It's 8 a.m. CET. So there you go. Pre-London Open, live market coverage, Piotr here. And this is the Light Forex Global YouTube channel. Guys, we are going to do our meeting a little bit different than usual. A few more details in a second. As usual, risk warning at the very beginning, guys. Please bear in mind, trading effects on margin, trading crypto on margin carries a high level of risk, may not be suitable for all investors. You can sustain loss of some or all your initial investment, so please do not invest the money that you cannot afford to lose. Seek education, gain experience before risking real money. However, past performance, of course, doesn't guarantee future results. So we are good with risk warning. It's gonna be a little bit different today, and mostly because of what we are going to try to do. We are going to try to connect with Michał within the next minute or two. He observed Tokyo session. He's going to share with us few information about the Australian data and then about the Chinese data. But because we are doing this first time, so in case of some kind of the technical problems, apologize right now in advance. So we are going to connect with Michał within the seconds. Guys, please bear in mind, we do have, or we are going to cover UK PMI services later today. We are going to cover it live. So you are more than welcome to join me 10:15 a.m. CET, so 15 minutes ahead of the event. And then again, we have afternoon meeting. We are going to cover New York Open live as usual on Wednesday, I would say. And it's gonna be very, very interesting. We are going to discuss it later. So let's try to connect with Michał. Give me 1 second, please.
It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Light Forex Social Trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
All right, so looks like we've got Michał with us. All right, so Michał represents FX Social Trading. Michał, Michael, what's the correct pronunciation?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All good. Okay.
All good.
I need to get used to this because it's a little bit late on YouTube. Okay. So we are going to, in short, cover the Aussie, what was happened during the night. I think that the Australian dollar is the most of the biggest beneficiary of the truce between China and US. After the G20 summit, it was almost 2% up in the late June, but the buyers were discouraged by these RBA interest rate cuts twice, consecutive twice on the two meetings. I guess it was a little bit preventive measure. One of the reasons were like the geopolitical risk, the willingness of the other central banks like the US to cut the rates also, and the increase of the unemployment rate for 5.2%. But the data from the overnight were pretty good, a little bit better from the previous month. The trade balance was bigger. The building approvals month to month were growing, and one of the things that according to the G20 summit was good for Australian dollar is also the increase of the price of the iron ore and the demand in the China steel production, which is on the all-time highs. And for the short forecast, the Bloomberg economist predicting that the export were a little bit decreased from 835 tons to 814, excuse me. But this looks a little bit better for the export in the from the Australia perspective. This demand on the iron ore that is a little bit undervalued right now.
Great
and,
stuff.
Yeah, okay. You want to add something?
Yes, I would like to. I'd like to add something. Thank you, Michał. The thing is that the latest RBA, especially that what we were discussing yesterday based on the charts. Most probably the yesterday cut. It was the one of the good things. One of the good thing happened to Australian dollar, which was supported yesterday. So we are going to discuss it on the chart right now for a second, which was supported around 69.50, and we were discussing this stuff over the course of the day. Bulls were able to try to retest 70. But as we can see on the chart here, still 70 is a key level. Taking into the consideration the price action happened on last Friday and what we've seen on Monday, the huge sell-off. The big question is either it was a failure at the high around 70.30, or the Monday price action, right? It was straight move back to where markets showed the weakness last time, and as we've seen, there is a bounce. So we are trying to, as a bulls, we are trying to take out 70. The next possible supply is gonna be around 70.30, 70.50. On the other hand, bears will try to hold below 70 and will try to push price lower and retest post RBA low around 69.50. In case of the breakdown, I think we might see 68.50 as the next one. In case of a breakout, as I've mentioned before, 70.30, 70.50, and if the bulls are gonna be able to hold above, then we might see some higher levels towards 70, 72. Michał, would you like to add something into the Australian dollar?
In a short, only a short sentence. Also, from the bulls' perspective, it is important that the conservative, led by the Scott Morrison, are re-elected right now, and they promise to cut taxes. It's about 158 billion in income tax cuts. So I guess, according to this, the boost in the GDP rate and the losing the situation getting better between US and China, I guess it will be positive. It will have a positive impact on the Aussie dollar.
All right. So we were discussing yesterday also the Aussie New Zealand dollar. So let's have a look what we have here, because it might be because of what you've said from the higher time frame perspective. It might support Australian dollar, but because of what is going on worldwide, the slower economic growth and stuff like this, maybe we don't have to try to trade with US dollar. Maybe it's better to try to trade with the neighbor, with Kiwi. And we were discussing Aussie Kiwi yesterday, and what I like here is the bounce we've seen based on this possible demand we were discussing earlier. Let me make it green because it's a daily chart. All right, so as long as we are above this possible demand, we are talking about 104, 103.80, let's say. I'm going to watch closely this pair, especially from the intraday perspective. If you remember, we were talking yesterday about this possible intraday supply. We hit that supply. We are trying to make a little bit of the pullback. So right now, what I'm gonna to look for is to the level over here, which was tested overnight. We are talking about the levels closer to 104.60. So during the European and US session, I'm going to watch closely 104.60 here on Aussie Kiwi. All right, Michał, as far as I remember, you have something about the China, right?
No, it's just a reviewing of the China PMI. It's in June it was down by a little bit more than 0.5%. So I guess it's due to the trade war, of course, and we will have to be cautious after the next readings, right after the next data release, and see what's going to happen, how it will impact the for the China economy.
All right, great. Thank you, Michał. Yeah, it was a pleasure for us that you were here. So it's FX Social Trader, and you are on a Telegram, right?
Yes, of course. I will send the Telegram, the link to the Telegram group on the chat. So if you are, if anyone are willing to stay in chat with us. Also, you are on this Telegram group.
Yes,
so
I am.
Yes, right. So if someone would like to stay tuned, stay connected with you and with me, also they can join the Telegram group. In a second, I will paste the link, and yeah, that's all for me.
All right, that's great. Michał, because we do have a long weekend in US, I'm not sure if we are going to connect tomorrow, but for sure we are going to connect again next week, right?
Yes, I think it will be like a...
All right, great stuff. Michael, thank you very much and have a great day.
Yeah, same to you. Bye.
Thank you, take care, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
All right, we are back, and it was quite good. It was quite good. It was the first time we did it that way. No technical problems. I like it. What do you think, guys? Leave the comments in the comment section. And yeah, definitely we are going to have Michał with us next time. All right, Michał mentioned that there was a little bit weaker Chinese PMI reading. So let's have a look what we have on the dollar Chinese yuan chart. The thing is that pre G20 there was an attempt to break lower. That's what we discussed yesterday, right? Market was trying to move below 686, 685. The hurrah optimism right post G20. It was the gap down, but bulls were able to hold and move back above 685, 686, testing 690 right now. So mostly because of the Chinese data, right? We were able, as the bulls, we are able to get back. The market managed to move back, and we are fighting with 690 right now. What is the 690? 690 is a possible supply. Exactly 690.50 is a possible supply base here on this daily chart. so I do expect a little bit more bumps on the road, if I can say that way. So right now 690, 691 might be the key. So it might be from the bear's perspective that we are going to retest this level, and the bears may try to retake, right? In that case, we may see some kind of the pullback, and the Monday high here it's gonna be the key. So 686, 685 as a line in the sand. On the other hand, if the bulls are going to be able to retake 691, we might see 695 again, and then question it's gonna be either we are going to make the pullback towards and retest 690, right, or we are going to go being above 691, we will go straight and retest 7. We will see. It's gonna be interesting time during this summer holiday. Hopefully it's not gonna be summer lullaby, right? Anyway, let's have a look what we have on the majors. Let's start with the pound. Is breaking down here through this important demand we were discussing yesterday and some time ago. The next possible level is being tested right now, all right, 25.70. Now we are going to get back into the pound during our next meeting. Just a friendly reminder, 10:15 a.m. CET. We are going to connect again. We are going to cover UK PMI services. Monday, manufacturing. Tuesday, construction. Both were ugly. So yeah, pound is going lower here. We are going to get back into the pound during the news event. We are going to cover it 10:15. All right. But right now, if you are on the short side, be careful. A little bit of the bounce and retest of let's say 25.90, 26.10 might be possible, right? Okay, euro dollar. There was a great preparation yesterday, and actually market hit almost to the peak, the level we were discussing during our morning meeting yesterday. Let me briefly remind you what we are talking about. We took the Friday, Monday price action as a one wave to the downside. Then what happened on Monday, the bounce retest of the weekly open, that was the orange correction. Then late Monday we saw another sell-off, right? So what we were waiting for yesterday, it was the correction, the same in size what we've seen on Monday, right? And because of the spike, of course, usually the news which provoked the spike is really on time, right? It looks like it was manageable. Anyway, we saw the spike. It was based on the information that a few ECB members, they are not in, based on their opinion, ECB is not in rush to cut in July. But it was the spike retest, as you can see, to the pip and sell off. Now, first target has been reached. We were talking about the Monday low, and we are trying to hold that low. So in case you are a bear, be very careful. In case you are a bull, I think there is a little bit change to what we discussed yesterday, because we were expecting some a little bit lower levels down towards 12.50, but looks like market, based on the daily chart, may want to create swing low here, right? So it's worth to watch. Still for me, the upper shadow, when we are talking about the 18th of June, right? The range from the 18th of June, upper shadow for me is the first kind of the support, right? And I do prefer the body. So in that case, we are talking about the 1220 and 1180 once we are going to be below 50, right? It's not the case for now, so what we are looking for here, let's switch lower. I think in that case, based on current price action, taking into consideration that we are trying to hold Monday low, it might be because of the euro pound price action, where euro is supported, right, because of the current pound sell-off. So market may want to try to hold this 1280 right now. If that's the case, we might see attempt to rally. We might even see attempt to find some stops, to find some kind of the liquidity. In that case, we are talking about the yesterday high. So it's something around 1320, right? So that's where the possible supply, possible demand around current level. In case of the breakdown, I think that we have to be patient from the bulls perspective, because we are talking about 1250, 1240 in that case. So let's make it right. There you go. Okay, so that's what might happen here with euro dollar. Now, dollar yen. To be honest with you, surprised by the move, because if you see what is going on overall on the yen crosses, right, compared to the indices, so, and compared to gold, so there is some kind of the disconnection in my opinion. And yeah, maybe we are building some kind of the new correlation, but I think somewhere someone is wrong. Anyway, let's get back to dollar yen right now. So yesterday strong move down through the Monday low, huge sell-off, to be honest with you. And right now, during the Tokyo session, we hit some stops, right, below the low from the 20th of June. We are talking about the 107.56, but I think we might try. So if you are a bull, you have to be careful right now. We might try to hit more stops below today's low. We have first possible demand a little bit, 1 pip below 107.50, right? And then again we have the place where market showed the weakness last time, and in that case we are talking about the levels closer to 107.30, right? So something in between 107.50, 107.30 from that perspective. The latest weakness I'm talking about is here, right? And this Niagara fall over here. That's how I see the things. In case of the bounce from current level, the first possible supply is of course Monday low, right? And it might be and weekly open. So we are talking about this supply we've seen here and here. So let me show you using the arrows over here and over here, right? So in case of the bounce, I see these levels as a possible supply. So in that case, the levels closer to 108. So again, trying to summarize dollar yen, the possible intraday demand here pre-London Open is something in between 107.50, 107.30. In case of bounce rally, of course the levels, the breakdown levels, right, 108 or above 108, I'm talking about 108.10, 108.25, right? Closer we have, because of what happened during the Tokyo session, we can, if you remember our educational webinars in June, we have 3 of them, and you might find the recordings in the archive section in the on the Light Forex Global YouTube channel. We have a base drop. So in that case, if you are ultra bear, you may look for these levels as possible supply over here, right? In that case, we are talking about the levels around 107.85. So if we are talking about the yen, so yen is strong and the pound is weak, right? Actually, pound is trying to bounce based on the zone we discussed earlier. Anyway, we have attempt to break lower here on the pound yen. All right, 1 second. So as you can see, we are trying to break the low from 18th of June, all right? And looks like it's right now unstoppable. Anyway, let's switch to the intraday chart. Let's make it here the daily open, all right? It's quite important. And then again, let's make it here and here, so we got full view. Let's switch to intraday chart. So right now, in case of the bounce, right, you want to see right now lower shadow, creation of the lower shadow, right? I would be very careful because it's base drop right now. What I would like to see in case of the attempt to counter this move, you want to see the move above that zone, right? So in case you want to counter this move, you want to see this type of the price action, strong rally back towards 135.85, all right? Some kind of the pullback into the place where market showed the weakness last time, and then rally of that level towards 136.25. Now, if you are a bear and if you are an ultra bear, you want to see the close, hourly close below that level. You want to see rally back, retest this supply and continuation to the downside. If you are a conservative bear, then you want to see a little bit higher levels. In that case, we are talking about this breakdown point, okay? And that's happened yesterday, closer to the end of the New York session, all right? And in that case, we are talking about the levels above 136 towards 136.10, 136.15, right? So if you are a conservative bear, if you are ultra conservative bear, you want to see a little bit higher levels towards 136.40, 136.55, and we are talking about this zone around here. Okay, so that's how the things looks like on the yen crosses. Yen is strong. There was a 2 or 3 hours ago, there was a comment from the member of the Bank of Japan. There is, and the comment was that there is no need of the fresh stimulus. Wow, something new. I thought maybe there is not enough printers in Japan right now. So looks like they printed out already everything. Anyway, let's get back to what we have here. I've mentioned about some kind of the disconnection. So let's have a look where we are from the gold perspective. And there was a strong comeback yesterday. All right, so I thought that we are going to see lower levels, but from intraday perspective, all right, market created nice bottom, all right, where it was created around the low from where this latest rally started, right? So okay, they decided that they want to do that that way. Anyway, we closed the gap post G20 gap, all right, we hit some stops. And right now we are retesting the high. So in case of being a bear, where is it? We have to go to weekly. Yeah, in case of being a bear, conservative one, I think it's worth to wait and see what's going to happen in case we are going to test 1450, all right, based on what we have from the weekly chart perspective. Okay, if you are an ultra bear and you think that yesterday rally it was the let's call it mistake because of what is going on indices, then you are monitoring the latest high, and what you want to see, some kind of the rally, and which is going to be rejected immediately, right, in that case. But the rally actually might hit this level, okay? So from the bear's perspective, you are looking for some kind of the failure around the highs, right? In case of being bull, you may try to take it as a range, latest range, right? And in case of the breakout, right, it might be strong with stop count towards 1460, 1490. So psychological 1500 here. In that case, I think the 50% of this original range as a possible demand. So in that case, we can place the line. Yeah, that's the nice level, right? Somewhere closer towards 1415, 14 level. Okay. So what's going to happen with indices in that case? Strong rally into the close yesterday on Nasdaq, right? But it was not enough to retake Monday high, the post G20 Hurrah Optimist high. The thing is, right now there are some changes because market was trying to and was able to hold the high and the open from the 25th of the June, right? So that's the important case right now. We are still inside the range which has been created at the very beginning of the May, right? The big candle over here. So right now, from this daily chart perspective, market may want to, market either may want to try to go higher to hit the stops, right? In that case, we were discussing this before, we might see even 8,000 based on this type of the approach. So market may want to hit some stops and we want to see the price above the trend line, right? And then depends on the outcome. If there are gonna be rejection, we have 1, 2, 3 and it should be followed by the sell-off. But in case we are going to close and hold above this trend line, above 8,000, this big cup and handle formation might be in play. Through the roof, right? So we are at the very important point, at the very important level right now. From short-term perspective, possible demand at yesterday open and low, right? So from the bears perspective, we have to retake and close below these levels as long as we are above the scenario with higher levels possible. So guys, that's it from me this morning. Just a reminder, within the next 1 hour 45 minutes, we have another meeting. We are going to cover UK PMI services. So last look on the pound, going back into this demand zone. See you within the next 1 hour and 45 minutes. It was my pleasure as usual. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great London session. See you.
It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Light Forex Social Trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.